Everybody, this is Glory. Welcome to Alpha Home. I hope you all are doing well. Today, in the series of Kali, we will be speaking about the play of manifested and the unmanifested light, and how Shakti presides over the jnana of Shiva, and without her, even Shiva is unrecognizable. Okay, so let's begin with a sloka from Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, where which is an agama, meaning it is a direct translation of a conversation between Shiva and Shakti, where Shiva says that Shaktaye Shiva Priya. That is the sloka. Shaktaye Shiva Priya, meaning Shakti, who is dearest to Shiva. We only understand Shiva, which is the manifested light or the photons, which is the illuminated light that you see, is because of the unmanifested photons that exist around us, which is Shakti, the darkness of light. If you want to know more about it, watch the previous video that I had uploaded yesterday. So you'll get a brief about this. Today's video is more or less going to be a deepening of yesterday's video. So this interplay of the manifested and the unmanifested is the becoming of Shiva, right? So what you see Shiva is a subset of the unmanifested, the illuminated subset, let me put it that way, illuminated subset of the unmanifested darkness which is holding light within it, which is Shakti. Now Shiva also goes further in giving a very apt example in explaining this, where he says, in the darkness of the night, where we cannot see the space around us, we cannot see any object around us because there is darkness, right? But the same space is completely visible to us by the next morning's sun rays, right? This is because we never see the objects, even in the daytime. What we see is the light, and through the light we merely develop an awareness of the objects in the space. In the same manner, you can only understand Shakti. And thereby, through her, get a glimpse of Shiva, the manifested light. And so you can never directly understand Shiva, directly or alone try and understand Shiva as an energy. So now Shiva too can know himself, his own Shivahood, only through his Shakti. Only through his Shakti can Shiva better understand himself, which means just as the eyes know themselves and their own function through what is seen, right? This is the point. One comes to know what seeing actually is, and this there is a particular terminology which is mentioned in Vijnana Bhairava, which Shiva says as Vimarsha Shakti, which is the Vimarsha Shakti is the power through which Shiva knows himself, the power through which Shiva recognizes his own nature or his own Shiva Tattva, which is the manifested light visible to you and me. So in Tantra, Shiva and Shakti are referred to as Prakasha and Vimarsha. Vimarsha, where Shiva is Prakasha, the illuminated light, and Shakti is self reflection. These are two aspects of the same realities. And Prakasha is the one who knows. So let's say you know this is a cell phone due to the light reflecting on it. That knowing is you becoming the Shiva. Vimarsha is the one through which it understands itself, right? The power through which, in other words, Vimarsha is the expression of that illumination, the manifestation which appears as this world around us. By knowing the world, the knower comes to know the one who is knowing. Thus, it finally knows itself. Therefore, Vimarsha, the Shakti, is the expression of Prakasha, which is the illuminated Shiva. Only by expressing ourselves do we come to know ourselves. Similarly, if I claim I'm a greatly wise person, but I do not reveal anything, I hoard my knowledge. If I do not express my knowledge, then what difference is there between me and donkey? If you try to know Shiva without Shakti, you will know nothing. But in knowing Shakti, there are chances you will become Shiva. So I keep saying this. See the woman aside a man. She will tell you everything about the man that he has become. Also, as the woman in the life of a man grows deeply into her spiritual practice, does a man the man catches up to that, Shakti of the light. So the man enrolls with it in the physical realm, and he grows in a more visual way. So if he is succeeding in his career and if he's doing well financially, could be the woman in his life is supporting that through her spiritual practice, is what is not me saying, but it is believed in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. If the feminine and the masculine is embodied in two individual, a man and a woman in a marriage. So, how does an awakened man or a Prakashit Shiva looks like? Prakashit Shiva looks like, okay? One of the biggest scam in the spiritual world is the branding of an awakened man, leaders, through podcasts, through followers, gurus of consciousness. But nobody is asking them the real question. What should you ask to recognize if he is truly awakened? The question that are more significant and critical to ask is, did he know while his wife got pregnant before she did? Because a truly awakened man is not disconnected from the life he creates with the feminine. He studies the body of his woman. He knows her nuances, her cycles, her fertility. He knows and feels when the energy within her womb has changed. Because it is never his awareness, it is hers that is coming to light. It is Shakti, the Vimarsha Shakti, awakening as Shiva Tattva, as the illuminated Tattva in him. So, he shouldn't be finding it out from a test he should know before she does. Ideally, if he is an awakened man. So here's the truth. All awakening is absolute embodiment at the physical, mental, and biological level, right? Awakening is completely embodiment, and it is not a podcast. It is certainly not your followership. It is to be lived every single day. And what you see a man achieving in his life, it is always related to the depth of the woman aside him. This is not me saying, this is inscribed starkly in our scriptures. In the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, where Shiva and Shakti are having a dialogue with each other. Thank you so much for watching.